Hello, and welcome to the first of two interviews we're having today as part of our virtual open day. I am joined by Sarah, who is in her second year of her BA Honours degree, and Georgian, who's now in his final year, so that's the third year, also of the BA Honours degree. Hello. So the first question that we've got for you today is, why did you choose to study at London Contemporary Dance School?
Okay, so it's such a long story. So I didn't think I will be a dancer and I will go to London, and I kind of met someone who really trusts me, and I met Antonin, who is now in third year and is from my city. I met him, we talked about the school, and it was just like we shared coffee and a really nice time, and I knew this time I wanted to do this school. And I just checked on the website what was happening here, and I definitely found that here it's really open and you're not just a dancer, but you develop your own way to be. So cool.
George, how about you?
For me, it's quite similar in the sense that I also didn't know whether I wanted to go into full-time dance training. And then for me, the real pull was that the fact that we are in London, the fact that it's one of the biggest cities in the world, in Europe sort of thing. We have so much around us here sort of thing, and this, as well as that, the school really caters to what so many needs in terms of whatever you want to do. And I think for me, the big pull was that I had people that I knew already from before who had come through the system here and had proven success by doing that, and I saw that as a way for me to really take these 3 years and just use them to develop myself as a human being and as a dancer. And it's really been a great 3 years.
So were there any particular people that inspired you?
Well, for me, I came here through the CAT scheme and the Shift Youth Dance Company. I've been with Isan since I was 15 sort of things. I've seen him go through CAT, go through Shift, go through the place 3 years, and then apprenticeship with Alston, and now he's got a job. So he's been through the building for all these different systems, all these different schemes, and he's really just used and grabbed and gripped everything from then. It's turned him into a well-rounded dancer, and I think if you try and you put your effort into it, and if you make ownership of your training, you can get whatever you want from the school sort of thing. And that's what I've learned from him sort of thing.
Okay, so just to put that into context, Isan Banya is now a full-time member of the Richard Olsen Dance Company, and he actually began dancing here with Shift, which is our youth dance company, and then he went through the Centre for Advanced Training, which is a UK-wide initiative, and then he came to train at London Contemporary Dance School, and since then he then went to do postgraduate study, where he was in an apprenticeship with Richard Olsen, and has since been given a full-time job. So that's really inspiring for you to see that happen, especially as you started off with him. That must be amazing. So next question, I'll move on. What's the most important thing you've learned since being at London Contemporary Dance School?
Okay, well, we learn so much things every day, so I think you learn how to be yourself, and it's quite scary sometimes, but you learn how going through different things, like creative things, technique things, but you learn how to do it every day and with your personality. So I think it's the biggest thing.
Okay.
I think for me, I've learned that you should just. I feel like I've learned through coming here these 3 years, and it is so rounded, and you should never go into it with a closed mindset. You should always have an open mindset, because it's constantly going to throw you in different directions and pull you in different ways, and you should just embrace that. That's what I've learned, to embrace everything that is given to you, and know that you can learn from every experience. Like, you may go into something thinking that you're not going to enjoy it, but from that you may find a really close friend from that, or you may find a teacher that you really work with later on, and you understand why you went through that process before, because it leads to something. Everything builds, and they know what they're doing. It really does. It all works. It's all so rounded. Yeah.
So, what's the most important thing you've learned? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm asking you the same question. So, there's a question that's coming on Twitter from Bethan. What's the most important quality to have at London Contemporary Dance School? So, is that determination, or I don't know? You've kind of said about openness.
Yes. I think what you said was great, because when you are open for everything, you are passionate and you give time to. Sometimes you struggle, but you learn so much from it, and you don't have to close yourself. So the best quality is to every day, even if it's hard, even if you have to find a way to keep going, and find things that make you going, still your friends, music, teachers, things like that.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
I think just for me the best quality to have is to be present, and to not, I think, to stay concentrated whilst you're here, whilst you're in the degree, the course. I feel like through every lesson, if you're always present and you're always taking stuff in and absorbing things, then that is the best quality to have, because 10 years down the line you can remember every single lesson that you did, and because you know that you were present in those lessons and you didn't slip out of focus. I think that's the main thing, being present in space.
Cool. How do you feel you've bonded with your peers? So, for example, you're now in your second year. How do you feel that's worked since you've done 1 year with them, you're now going on, and then you've got this really intensive third year that you're coming up to? How do you feel your relationship with the other students has worked out?
It's like my second family.
Okay.
Because we came alone here, and we need people that look after us every day. So yeah, it's really like we know each other so well, and now first year was a bit hard to a bit stressed, and a bit I didn't know who I was, and now I really feel that we are all together moving, and we are so a bit sad. We are already in second year. Time flies so much. So yeah.
And how did you feel making that transition? Because you come from France, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
How did that work in terms of coming to London?
Amazing experience. I think I learned a lot about England, but as well about France, because you kind of have a mirror of who you are, where you came from. And it was really challenging to express myself somehow in another way. And I remember the first time I did talk in front of the class in cultural studies.
Okay.
It was really challenging, but when I did it, it made me really, really, really happy.
Okay. That's a good example to use, because we showed a session with cultural studies earlier, so people will be able to relate to that.
Okay.
And what about you, Jordan? So now you're in your third year. How do you feel your relationship with your peers has changed, or?
Yeah, it's like they are like a second family, like, because you come here, everyone lives away from home, and you do feel like you're part of a family. You're going through the same stuff in school and out of school, and you're going through it together, and it's people that you feel like you make lifelong friends with, because you share a common interest, and it's a strong, passionate common interest that you can just, you know that they're there for you, you know they have your back, sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, so we have another question on Twitter, and this is from Bruna Silva. Is it hard being away from home? Did you ever want to give up?
Yeah, that's a great question. somehow it's good to be away from home, because when I come back, it's so great. I spend so much time with my families, and I enjoy all the time I spend with them. So I think it's just like Sunday morning when you wake up and you used to have a huge breakfast with your family. It's just maybe a bit sad bit of it, but you learn how to make it with your second family, with your friend here. Yeah.
How about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I think similar to that is the sense that you do sort of have people that will also support you as you go through this process. So you may be afraid at first. At first I was afraid to move out and stuff like that, and you gain a lot of maturity from it, and you just feel like you grow in these 3 years. Maturity is one thing that I've grown a lot, because before that I wasn't very mature. And you learn in certain situations that you have to, and it's hard, but you just have to do it, sort of thing. Yeah, it works out.
Cool. So, next question. How do you feel you've evolved as an artist throughout your training so far? Jordan, do you want to answer this first?
Okay. As an artist, yeah, I think because I came in with a mindset that I just wanted to choreograph, and that was the one thing I thought I wanted to do. And since doing these 3 years, I've realised that there's so much more that the dance world offers that I'm interested in now, and it's made me a lot more open. And as an artist, I feel like I've so much that I want to give back, sort of thing, and perform and maybe hold events and just more things, maybe like write blogs or reviews, or just like there's so many things encompassing this world that we're in that I just want to delve into and go into, because these 3 years I've grown as an artist, but I know that I can grow even more when I leave, sort of thing, and keep on growing. You never stop growing as an artist, I think, and these 3 years has taught me that. Yeah.
So, dear.
Okay. Yeah, it's really similar to you. It feels that London is really connected with all the art, and the school is really connected with other art schools. So all the we have more than just technical classes. We have that to have the base, but then we have like Gaga for developing your creativity, and we have improvisation, and we really felt this year that we really moved on another level with the group. That we trust each other and we go furthermore. We ask questions with our body, and yeah.
Yeah, I think like with that Gaga comment, I felt like LCDS is constantly present. It's constantly in the here and now, and the timetable will always change to be with what is currently going on in the dance world at the moment. Bringing in Gaga and Flying Low to the curriculum has really pushed it to be present and constantly like forward thinking, I'd say, and that helps you to, when you come out of the 3 years, be ready for the outside world, because at the moment you're being trained to be ready for the outside world, and the curriculum suits that. I think bringing in the improv and Gaga, yeah.
So what is your biggest source of inspiration for you at the school? Like you mentioned earlier, seeing other students who've progressed from where you were, going through to be professional performers and being given contracts. Are there other things, the teachers or other performances?
Okay. Biggest source of inspiration. I think for me, my recent biggest inspiration has definitely been Crystal Pite.
Okay.
Like for LCS, be given experience to third year to perform Sadler's Wells main stage 3 nights in a row with Crystal Pite. It's been incredible experience, and it's been a lifelong experience, and that has just inspired me to just really have so much more hunger to just keep on going and trying to push to try and get that again maybe at some point in my career, because it was such a great experience to I was told to be a cover for one of the main dancers, and being in the studio with them and rehearsing with them and seeing how they work, these Canadian dancers, just seeing how superhuman they are. Sort of thing. It's like, it just makes you just feel like, yeah, it's really inspiring to just push and push and push and just determination, just keep on going.
And so that project, just to put it into context, that was with 60 other dancers, was it? It was a lot of you, wasn't it?
So the Place and Central School of Ballet.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
Quite intense.
It was 3 weeks of just amazing, yeah. I loved it, yeah.
Fantastic.
And I watched it and I loved it too.
That's good.
It's so great to see that the third year we know them, we danced with them and we saw them at Salt as well. It was like we were all almost crying just because, it's really like dance is not really far. It's just here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's quite nice as well as you talk about each other as a family. Yeah. Of course, you would be involved when you're watching your peers on stage, but also that could be you in a year's time, I guess.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's good that the schools gave us that opportunity. Like, we didn't have to do it. The school gave it to us to do, and it's just incredible. Yeah, and after the show, seeing people from school, like second years and first years, like. It's nice to see you guys just there supporting us, because you just come out and you see them, it's like, this is great, this feels good. Yeah.
So we've actually got some rehearsals, a rehearsal with Crystal Pipe at the end of the day. I think that's about 3:00, so you'll have to tune in and watch that and you'll know what we're talking about. Okay. So there's another question from Bruna on Twitter. What is your favourite class or module that you've done so far? Who wants to answer this?
For me is Gaga with Chisato. I think she used to work with Pat Shaver dance, and she's when I'm in that class, I just feel like I am constantly learning about my body and how my body moves, and learning how to develop, how to have more ownership of my body in that lesson. And I feel like the awareness that I gain is it's quite incredible. Yeah.
I would say it's the same class. Everything is really great. It's hard to choose just one, but it's Gaga. Sometimes I come to the class and I feel a bit not really well, or I feel I'm a bit sad, or I have something, and I just work through that. And when the class is finished, I just feel I'm good. It's just the only feeling. I'm not too. Sometimes I get really here and thinking about stuff, and I'm not in my body. But it's you find a real connection between your mind and your body.
Cool. I think we definitely need to show a Gaga class on our next open day, because we haven't got one of those today. Another question is, how have your modules changed? Have you seen, the difference between when you started in the first year to you now, Jordan, in the third year, and Sarah between your first and your second year?
I think it gets a lot more practical based in the 3 years. So in the first year is a lot more stuff that is quite broad and rounded, and then in terms of second year and third year, it becomes a lot more dance based. I don't say dance based, but it becomes the curriculum slowly builds up, and in the third year you feel like you have a lot of things behind you that has been built.
Yeah, so first year at the beginning it's quite you learn everything about London. You have lots of talking and kind of make sure everybody start with the same base, and then it gets more practical, and somehow for me it get more and more interesting each term. It's like an evolution of if it feels really right, the way it evolves, and we are always looking for something new each term.
Do you have any plans when you finish? And does the school help you guide you on your way to your professional career? you're closer to this, so do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'd say when I finish, I would like to just see what's out there and just I will apply for the apprenticeships, and I will also apply for other auditions. But as well as that, I'd like to maybe do certain project-based work as well, and just maybe travel the world and just see what is going on around the world, sort of thing. Yeah, the school does. I think the school does help you with that. I think it helps you to I don't know, to be open, to know that there's so much there that you can do. So you're not closed-minded and just go down one tunnel vision path. There is so many paths. It's like a mind map of paths that you can go down. So like, don't be worried or afraid that like the dance world, you may not have something that you want to do, because when you get here, there'll be so much that you feel like there's too much that you want to do. And it's like you haven't got enough time to do it in once you leave, but you can go. The dance world can last for so long. Like you can go on for so many years. So yeah, it's helped me to realise patience and just know there's so much I can do and just let it happen.
Cool.
I think for now where I want to go, I really want to go to Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Because it's where Batsheva company is.
Yeah.
It's based on, and I think this school pushes you to go and to have internship, or to be curious and to try, or to just, we have a tutorial with teachers each term, so we talk with them, and we can also talk about how can I know a bit from that company. So they give you tips and how to contact them, send emails or things like that. So, and I think it's something you can start first year or second year. You can definitely start to look around.
Cool. So another question from Twitter. Sean has asked, do you have to have lots of training to join the school?
Okay. I think you have to want really, really, really much. You have to, you want to be in this school. Is not just, it looks cool, I want to join. If you really want something, I think you can really go with it. And some people try once and then it didn't work, so they try a second time and it works, because they work on it and they learn from sometimes when something doesn't work, you really learn from that.
Yeah, I've heard that before when I've spoken to students, that some people have auditioned one year and then they didn't get in, but then they went off, did loads of classes, loads of different like summer schools and things, and then came back and auditioned again, and they were in a much better position, and then they did get in. And I think I've heard it said where personally they were in a better position, so not just the training, but also where they were.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel it's a lot more curiosity and passion, I'd say. Like if you have the passion to want to come here, you have the curiosity to want to come here, then it'll work out, I think. Yeah, I think you don't have to be super technical. I think creativity is a strong part of the school as well. It pushes so much creativity. So yeah, you can go into school and feel like you want to push technique, but if you want to push a creative side as well, then that has an input into coming to the school. If you're really creatively gifted, then the school will see that, and yeah.
Cool. And how do you keep active over your summer break? So you've had a few summer breaks.
Yeah.
Have you done different summer schools or anything, or projects, or just a few classes?
I'd say this summer I've been like doing a lot of yoga, and like cycling down the Thames. So like doing, and like I say for me, I spend my summers mostly trying to do things that are still training but not dance. So I'd be like doing basketball as well and stuff. But this summer, mainly cycling down the Thames, because it's been such a nice summer. It's been so sunny. Like The Thames is incredible. Like cycling down there has been great, and it's strengthened me as well. Like my legs are so much stronger now, and it hasn't been dance, but it's been training still. Yeah, and yoga keeps you flexible. I think.
And strong.
Yeah. I didn't really do it much, but I think now yoga keeps you very like core strength, and the cycling is just fun and just it's good.
Yeah, I think it's important to not be too much dancing, but it's nice to refresh a bit, and then you can start the year with you really want to be back and dance again. So I did kind of the same. I went back to home and I did some surfing and some stuff I can't do during the year because we are really busy, and so it's nice you kind of feed yourself.
Brilliant. It's really lovely to hear that you enrich your practice with all these extra bits that you do, other than just what we've shown at the school with the music and cultural studies, but that you physically go and do other things. So that's nice. So last question, I'm afraid. Was there anything unexpected about the school when you came here, or even throughout the years? Have you found anything unexpected that you were a bit like, I wasn't sure about that, or?
I'd say we have like sharings that we do, and you see that there is a very certain things are very like experimental, and certain things do push boundaries, sort of thing, and you. At first, you'd like, okay, what is this? But then, like, you learn to accept it, and you learn to appreciate it. You learn that we are artists in that sense. So I wouldn't expect it to be as broad in the sense of we are artists in that sense. Like we are pushed to be broad and pushed to take risks, and people do take risks. Yeah.
And so, have you got anything to add?
I didn't expect to have so many opportunities to see show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the school has many time tickets for going to show, or some edge company in the theater, so you can go and you can see 3 times a week a show. There are lots and lots of things you can see in the school and a bit around the school as well.
Yeah, I'll just add to that in terms of we have a full theatre programme here at the place within our theatre, and we're literally just down the road from Sutter's Wells where you were performing. There's a lot going on around here, isn't there? So
yeah, it's like the hub.
Okay. There's a last one from Twitter. How did the third years get selected for Cal Arts? Do you know anything about that?
So we have
exchange.
Yeah, we have an exchange program that happens first term of third year, where we exchange with schools from across the borders, across the world, and you have to apply for it. You have to apply to do the exchange, and 2 people get selected, and they go across to move to America, to California, and people come from there here for first term. So in first term or third year, we do have exchange students from all over the world come in, and it's nice to be with people who have a different training and see how that's affected them. And yeah, it's a good program. It's a good exchange program. Yeah.
Cool. I think we have to wrap up now. We've run out of time. But thank you to both of you for dealing with all those questions, taking the time out. And thank you to you for sending in your questions on Twitter and Facebook. We do have another interview later on at 2:30. So that's with 4 first years. So they'll have lots of things to say, I'm sure. So send in your questions for that, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.